procrastination is in a lot of cases the norm, and it has to do with sense of urgency. When we don't have that burning urgency, then we tend to distract ourselves, and it could be also part of a sabotage mechanism. So depending what we're procrastinating, some people procrastinate things of work, and the tendency is often to create pressure on you by postponing until it must be done. So that's one way of procrastination. And the other is more a lack of discipline. So it's more like in your case, if you have to do something for yourself, it can be a lack of discipline. Where and what is discipline? Let's discuss discipline for a moment. Discipline is having the motivation and passion to do something that in the beginning it's not a habit yet. Once it becomes a habit, you do not need discipline anymore, right? So if I ask each one of you, who of you have problems to brush your teeth in the morning? Who of you would say, hey, I just forget to brush my teeth, right? But most people don't forget to brush their teeth. Why? Because it's a habit in the brain. The brain is rewired. Now, here's the problem that we all understand is that to create a new habit, it takes at least 63 days, on average 90 plus days. So if you're doing something only for 12 days or 10 days, or you're starting up, then you need more willpower to do it because it's not a habit yet. Does it make sense? So you're going on willpower. And willpower depends on two things. It's the amount of pain that you have with wanting to change an old habit, and the amount of pleasure that you have with where you're going. So, and most people do not create that tension. And what do I mean with tension? With tension, I mean that what you don't want feels so bad, and what you want feels good. That's a kind of creating a polarity between two sides. What I'm going to say now is very important, I think, for everyone who wants to change any type of habit. So we need to have first, you have to create a structure for make it easy for yourself. So I've been trained in Qigong, and in Qigong we have a protocol where you have to do an exercise for 100 days. Okay, and so what we were taught is to create a kind of a, how do you say that, a page with the day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and so on. So we work it out for 100 days. And here's the secret in Qigong: if you do it for 98 days and you skip 99, you have to start again at day 1.
Yes. Okay.
That's just the main motivation for me not to skip a day. Does it make sense? And with anything you want to change, if you keep that as a rule, that if I stop one day, I'm starting again back at 1, not at, let's say you're day 24 and you skip your exercise, whatever you're doing, it means you're going back to day 1. So that's number one thing. And for creating a new habit, that's true, right? So you create a structure. Let's say nail biting and exercising. So you create a structure, and every day so the pleasure that you get is putting the check sign on the next day. Does it make sense? So it's like, and then you have celebrations. So the way I used to do it is like each week I would celebrate that week for doing it for 1 week. And celebration could be any type of reward, depending on what you can spend. Could be a massage, it could be something that you like, or whatever. You find a way to celebrate. Celebration is very important to create success, but you need that structure. The second thing that's important is, and this is how the mind works, is that you have to start every day with the intention. And so the first thing you do in the morning, and the intention, you can do it in bed, or you can also make a post-it note, like this thing, and you write on it, intention for today is nail biting and exercise. So every day you start the day, and for example, let me give you one example that I used, is that I used the intention that I choose to be happy every day, no matter what. And my task was to do that for 90 days. So I created a structure and had a post-it note on the mirror where I was shaving. And even during the shaving, I was setting my intention. So, and what I'm going to add to the intention is a very important piece for changing a habit. So the intention consists of, number one, the sentence with your eyes rolled up. Even if I don't know how to break this habit for the rest of my life, whatever that is, nail biting and being lazy, not exercising. What I do know is I already broke this habit now. That's the first sentence. The second sentence is a very important one. And the second sentence, most people do it too fast. We say delete, delete, delete any information or any belief, any habit, any whatever that's blocking me from being successful with breaking this habit. That's number two. And here I would like you to pause. Actually, after each sentence, you pause. So after the first sentence, you pause and you look at the future where you see yourself being successful. When you're doing delete, 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 you pause, but here you imagine that in your brain, just like a computer, and on the computer's delete button, that you're deleting all the information that's not there. So we're adding the visual aspect to it as well. Okay, that creates more power. And then the same thing we do with download, 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 all the resources I need to break this habit effortlessly and with grace, ease, and joy, something like that. And then you imagine downloading new energy, new motivation, new whatever it is that you need, new, I would see this new attitude, right? And you visualize this new, I'm strong, I can break this habit. You create that attitude. And after that, you say, thank you, and so on and so on. And then you visualize for at least 1 up to 3 minutes the new habit that you're doing. So if you're breaking a habit, we often recommend to replace it with another habit. Okay, because let's say if a person stops smoking, you're creating what we call a void, because in a way, even though smoking is bad, it still has a good function. If you look at smokers, the good function of smoking is that people take a mental break. It's like they're taking time out. You know, they go, and nowadays we go to stand outside, we smoke. It's really a ritual. So giving up the ritual with not replacing it with something else is less powerful.